The story of the Pokemon franchise is, in short, an incredible one. The success of the Pokemon games is undeniable. While there are certainly other games out there that might beat them in sales, profit, and other such measures, in terms of legacy, few franchises out there can compare to Pokemon. And why exactly is this? Well, obviously a big reason is the Pokemon themselves. Although few would disagree that Nintendo has had their fair share of poorly designed Pokemon, for the most part they have done a phenomenal job with the 700 plus Pokemon out there today. The Pokemon themselves, however, are not what I'm here to talk about in this video. Rather, I'm here to talk about something slightly more overlooked, and that's the Pokemon trainers from this video game series. Many would argue that Pokemon isn't about the characters at its very core, but I wholeheartedly disagree with such a claim. If you ask me, trainers like Brock, Misty, Lance, and many others play an irreplaceable role in the Pokemon games. As such, in honor of such a notion, I'm here today to count down my personal top 10 Pokemon trainers of all time. So without further ado, let's get onto the list, folks. Number 10. Zinnia. For me, one of the coolest new features of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was the Delta episode, for many different reasons, but foremost among these reasons is the introduction of a new character named Zinnia. If there's one word I would use to describe Zinnia, it would probably have to be badass. I mean, just look at her design. That outfit and cape she's wearing, while maybe not on the level of Lance or Drake, are nothing short of epic. And also, just look at the Pokemon she uses. Between Altaria, Salamence, and other classic dragon types, there's really nothing to dislike about her team. For this reason, there's no doubt in my mind that Zinnia is one of the best additions to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and as such, she is number 10 on my list of all-time Pokemon trainers. Number 9. Drake. And now we come to the first of the controversial choices on this list, which unfortunately there are a few here, and that is Drake. Now you guys are probably thinking to yourselves, Roshank, why the hell do you have Drake on here, but not Lance? Which, spoilers, Lance is not on here. Well, it's not that I don't like Lance, it's more that Drake is just too epic for me to pass up. And beyond that, Drake was actually the first Dragon Master that I encountered while playing Pokemon, with Ruby being my first game, so you could say that a large portion of the motive behind this choice is nostalgia. What's more, Drake is actually allegedly based off Sir Francis Drake, a pirate from the 16th century, and for those of you who don't know me, I absolutely love when games make little history references like that. So for all those reasons, Elite Four Drake is my 9th favorite Pokemon trainer of all time. Number 8. Cynthia. In terms of difficulty, Cynthia might just be the hardest trainer to beat in any of the Pokemon games. For starters, her Pokemon are extremely high level compared to her Elite Four peers, but more importantly, she doesn't specialize in a single typing, and as such, her coverage is pretty much impeccable. That damn Garchomp of hers still gives me nightmares, even though I haven't played a 4th generation game in quite some time now. Thus, there's no doubt that Cynthia is one of the strongest and coolest champions out there, and as such, she is 8th on my list of all-time Pokemon trainers. Oh, and before I forget, be sure to check out the description below because I've actually included a download link to the picture in the thumbnail for all of your various uses. Number 7. Giovanni. This choice is probably the one that pained me the most on this list, and the reason I say this is that numbers 2 through 7 were all incredibly close, and I ended up having to make some difficult choices, the worst of which was probably this one. I mean, I am a massive Giovanni fan. I don't need to tell all of you that he's easily one of the coolest evil team bosses out there, so the fact that he ended up number 7 on my list is probably not only shocking to you guys, but also to myself. Nonetheless, Giovanni is an essential part of the first 2 Pokemon games and undoubtedly an epic badass, so for that reason he's number 7 on my list of all-time Pokemon trainers. Number 6. Wes. So first of all, if you guys don't know who Wes is, drop everything that you're doing and go play Pokemon Colosseum right now, because if you haven't played that game, then you're seriously missing out. Now, Wes might seem like an odd choice since Colosseum isn't exactly considered a main series Pokemon game, but between this guy's background and the awesomeness that was Colosseum, I pretty much had no choice but to put him on this list. The coolest bit of trivia about him, at least for me, is the fact that he's actually a former member of an evil team, which is something that we've never had in a Pokemon game before. The idea of a trainer having a slightly darker past is pretty awesome in my opinion, and for that reason, Wes is my number 6 Pokemon trainer of all time. Number 5. Blue. Let's get one thing straight, Blue is an asshole. He's cocky, condescending, and beyond overconfident, which for me is actually why I like him so much. I'm not sure about you guys, but I sort of miss the days when your rivals were dicks. I mean, Ruby might have been my first game, but the fact that both your rivals, Wally and Predator May, were so nice really pissed me off. Beyond this, however, Blue just has a really awesome team of OG Pokemon, which for me is more than enough to put him at number 5 on my list of all-time Pokemon trainers. Number 4. Ghetsis. And now we come to the second of 2 controversial choices on this list, and I would not be surprised if people were really upset at me for this one. Ghetsis? Roshank, how could you put Ghetsis over Giovanni? What the hell is wrong with you? Well, the first thing I'll say in response to this is that these two could have easily been switched. As I said, numbers 2 through 7 are incredibly close on this list, so on another day, I might have put Giovanni here instead. But also, Ghetsis is just a lot more challenging than Giovanni in my opinion, and that's something I think few people would deny. I mean, yeah, Giovanni's probably a bit more epic, but if you had a water type Pokemon on your team back then you were pretty much good to go against him. But against Ghetsis, with that godforsaken Hydreigon of his, no matter what Pokemon you're carrying, you better prepare yourself for an all-out war, because his team is tough as hell. So for that reason and much more, Ghetsis is my 4th favorite Pokemon trainer of all time. Number 3. Silver. Let's get another thing straight. Silver is also an asshole. In fact, I would say that he's far worse than Blue. In addition to being cocky and condescending, the dude is just a straight up thief, having stolen a starter Pokemon from Professor Elm. But as with Blue, this is actually one of the reasons why I like him. And additionally, some of Silver's backstory is pretty insane. For those of you who are unaware, Silver is actually the son of none other than Giovanni, which when I found this out, I was absolutely blown away. As such guys, Silver is number 3 on my list of all-time Pokemon trainers. Number 2. Red. I want to start this one off by saying that I honestly can't say why I like Red. I mean, I definitely do like him. Actually, hell, I love his character, but it mystifies me how I could possibly like someone who hasn't said a single thing in any of the Pokemon games. Actually, on second thought, maybe that is the reason I like him so much. As with West, his whole character is shrouded in mystery, with blanks that you as the player must fill in. And as human beings, we generally tend towards mysterious and unknown things. So for that reason, the legendary Pokemon trainer Red is number 2 on my top 10 list of all-time Pokemon trainers. Number 1. Steven. And now we finally get to my favorite Pokemon trainer of all time, Steven Stone. For those of you who know me, this probably isn't a very surprising choice. Steven was, of course, the first champion I ever battled as a kid, and in all honesty, he's one of the main reasons I got hooked on Pokemon in the first place. Despite the fact that it was hinted at constantly, I was a pretty stupid child and never thought that Steven would be the champion, so when it turned out that he was the champion, I was totally blown away. And beyond that, he uses the Steel type, which at the time was a very unique choice for a champion. Between Metagross, Aggron, Armaldo, and other awesome pokes, he's undoubtedly got one of the coolest teams of all time, and for that reason, he's my number 1 favorite Pokemon trainer from any of the Pokemon games. Alright folks, that is pretty much going to do it for this top 10 countdown video. As always, if you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe for more Pokemon content in the future. Also, I don't usually do this in my videos, but I'm going to try something a little bit new here. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes on this episode. And of course, if you disagree with any of the choices on this list, then comment down below with your top 10 trainers of all time and tell me why you picked the trainers that you did. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.